So one-shot sniping is back currently within Warzone. You still need to get a headshot, but at least it's back. And the only little caveat here is there's 3 weapons that can do that, and you need specific ammunition, which is this explosive mag ammunition. So they added this attachment for the MCPR. You got to level it up a couple more times. They've done this kind of like stealthily with a lot of other guns. So for the 3 weapons that you'll be able to get a one-shot with are the MCPR, the Victus, and the FJX Imperium. And after you kind of look at these weapons pretty closely, it kind of narrows down which one is not necessarily the best, but which one is the worst out of the 3 to completely avoid, and you can kind of just go with the other 2 based on preference. So this is a pretty straightforward spreadsheet comparing each of them. When it comes to the fire rate, the FJX does come out on top, but when you're firing as slow as the sniper's fire, this is more of a negligible difference, at least in my opinion. When it comes to bullet velocity, they're pretty close, but their bullet drops differ pretty heavy, especially with the Victus, which we'll take a look at. And then the ADS times, the Victus also probably the worst in the bunch. And then these 2 are relatively close, but having a slightly faster aim down sight is pretty nice, especially since you can stack that with an extra 5 bullets in your mag. So another part for the MCPR, and then the reload speed is mostly negligible. With the explosive rounds, it makes it a little tricky to kind of look at bullet drop because your bullets explode. Like you're getting ghost shots when you're trying to shoot this thing. So if you are struggling, I do recommend the Raptor, which kind of gets you dialed in. But even when we look at this and we can kind of zoom in, we can see what these look like. For 189 meters is obviously the higher one up. And then we got 239 meters, which is the one lower of the different colors lines. We can see the FJX Imperium does come out the best, which matches the bullet velocity that we looked at. And then the MCPR comes out second, and then the Victus is miserably low. So I think the Victus is kind of crossed out. I would avoid using that at all costs, but the other 2 do give an argument because it's relatively close on a lot of the categories, with the exception maybe that fire rate, but overall, I think that's mostly negligible. Now we can kind of look at how it looks in game with the specific build. So overall, we do have that one set up. Now we'll go ahead and set up this one that I have saved. We got that there. And now when we'll go, I'm going to go ahead and spam the trigger so you can kind of see the fire rate. And then we can go ahead and look at tunings if you kind of want to see those. So pretty much if I just spam the trigger, you can see that kind of fire rate. That's kind of the main thing that we're focusing on there with fire rate. Then we switch to the MCPR, which obviously you can hear it's slightly slower, but the nice part is that we don't have to stop to reload. So where it lacks the fire rate, it'll make up for it with the ability to be able to fire 10 shots consecutively and be able to take out more people. So overall, I think a lot of people more gravitate towards the MCPR, with the exception maybe solos, which isn't even in the game. So for the FJX, we're going to pretty much tune for aiming idle stability or aim down sight speed. You kind of got the preference there. Probably aim down sight because it struggles with that. And we got aim walking steadiness over sprint to fire, because sprint to fire is normally going to be if you're going for a no scope with the hip fire, right? Recoil steadiness over aim walking in this case. Maybe we get the less recoil out of that. And then the aim down sight speed, since we don't really care about damage range at all, since this thing will always one shot to the head. Aim down sight speed, bullet velocity, and that helps there. And then we kind of have that built the same way, along with the Skull 40 on the back end, solving for those things. When it comes to the MCPR, it is a little bit weird because some of the barrels block it, so you cannot run a muzzle, and this ends up getting the best net positive bullet velocity to counteract the explosive mag. And the tuning for this is going to be the, like you see here, aim down sight with aiming stability, aim down sight with aim walking steadiness, and then recoil with aim down sight, and then bullet velocity and aim down sight, and lastly bullet velocity with recoil. And that ends up being the 2 one-shot snipers that I recommend. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.